everyone. Today we will talk about survey in Salesforce. So how it could be organized, how it could be set, how we could perform any kind of automation based on the surveys. So first of all, if you would like to enable survey in your Salesforce org, what you need to do is find inside bar item with name survey settings. So once you will enable the settings, additionally what you could set up here is the name of your default community for the public survey invitation and option where you could allow survey owners to manage participant responses. You could enable it here. So once it's done, where you need to go, it's from the app launcher, you need to search for surveys and create a new record for your particular survey here. So at this moment I am already prepared one, so it's just a record. So when you just open it, what you could see, it's a name, number of version, what is languages you have in use for this, and related lists. So in the related list you have survey versions that you have, and you have survey invitation. So we will talk about it a little bit later. So now for us to be able to see actual survey builder, we need to come right here and select option open latest version. So when it's opened, let's see what do we have in this survey builder. Let me just create a new version and show you what exactly we have in that builder available. First of all, as you could see, we have available branding. We have auto progress, we have progress bars that will allow us to understand on what stage of our survey at this moment we are. We have possibility to set up different kind of background image, opacity, background image blur, color, content card, question text, answer choices. So for all this kind of text settings, we have possibility to set up color of our text. So also what we could do here is we already have welcome page and thank you page. So but additionally what we could do is we could create wherever pages we want for us to be able to address any kind of survey logic that we have. So for example, welcome page is pretty simple. What we could set up here is put some, for example, branding logo of our company, put here some hello text, and next button is automatically available. So right after that, what do we have? It's possibility for us to set up necessary number of pages with different kind of questions. So how we could actually add a question? So we have this big blue button. Once we click on it, here we have possibility to select any kind of possible, let's say, questions that we could set. Like for example, if you would like to use score our survey, so you could put some description here. You could set up what is a let's say numbers do you have available, so customer will be able to interact with it. Please also note that there are possibility for us to set up for each question if it's required or not with the following settings. So for example, include description or not, should it be required or not. As you could see, red white card, red symbol, show it right here. So it's not only one available option that you have here, you have possibility also to specify necessary, let's say, branching logic, that what should happen when, for example, some customers, when they interacting with your survey based on your responses on different kind of questions, should they be able to see next page or not. So for example, if you ask in your person that, for example, do you want to rate also our service number 2 or rate another our product? So if customer will select yes, we could potentially show him another page or different kind of additional questions. But if not, what we could do is just not show this page based on the rules that we could set up here. So once it's done and we set up all necessary our, let's say, routing logic, and we set up all our pages and everything is looking good for us, we could also set up here display logic for our fields on the actual page. So it also could be dependent on the answers on the other questions. So all this logic could be set up right here. So for this moment, for test purpose, we will not set it up. So what we could do is just click on the preview button and see how it's in general look like. So surveys that we just prepared. So here you will see how it looks like in terms of the customer. So how it will look like when our customer will get it. So we could set up some points here. We could click next, set up something here, also select something and click finish. So here are our thank you message. So once it's done, what we could do? Here we have possibilities. Let me just activate our survey. So here we have possibilities for us to send it right from here. So possible options that we have from the survey builder is we have possibility to get direct link that we could use to send it to our participants, or what we could do is we could use QR code. So let me just download it and show you how it's look like. So if it's necessary, for example, you could just print it and put it somewhere in the city where you promoting some product or wherever you want. So it's also this option available. And as you could see here, you have two options. One is for participants in your company, another one for participants outside your company. So if you would like to use possibility for every person to be able to actually interact with your server, what you need to do is you need to prepare communities and select default community for surveys. There are also some default settings are available. So for example, you could set up what default email template should be associated with the survey, and what should be email sender default, what should be language. And here also we have important settings. It's invitation settings. So here we could decide which user have access to the invitation record for this survey. So for example, it should be just owner or the owner of the record associated with the invitation. So another possible option to send survey from there, it's possibility to select what we would like to send. Should it just be some single question or should be entire survey? So here we could see how it's look like. So it's based on our default email template. So after that we could select to what person we would like to send it, from who to what person, any kind of additional email template options where we would like to include our survey. As you could see here, we have merge fields, and we could just send it right from there and it will work and it will be sent to our customers. One more important option that we have here is possibility to analyze results of our let me just open it up. Results of our survey. So let's imagine that we just sent some link to our customer. Oh, it's already completed for our customer. Let's then just show. Let me just show you an example of the email sending. Okay. So here we have additional options like set up unique link, anonymize response, or set invitation auto expire if it's necessary for any cases. So I just sent it to my mailbox, just got it, opening this server link. As you can see, server is available for me. Just putting some feedback right here. Next. Finish. So after that, what we could do is we could jump back to our analyze report, click refresh. So please take a note that usually it takes more time for not text questions to appear here. So we could just one more time click refresh. So as you could see, number here, text version is here, but not for the items which are not real text question. So it's coming a little bit later, so it's a kind of delay that I was able to see. But meantime, let me show you how, for example, we could not just show email templates where it will be set up as a button, how we could actually automate it. So for example, let's imagine situations that we have some kind of case where we have our fields like origin, status, owner, survey, invitation. We would like to have this link right here. So how it could be organized and why it could be necessary. So let's imagine that we have some email template where we would like to use something like hey, please put your feedback here. So if we would like to put something custom and we would like to put that link right here under that custom text, what we could do is we could prepare a new field on the case like survey invitation, and for example if we will use, let's say, flow, with the flow what we could do is when we will generate survey invitation we could include it directly into the case field, and later once we will work with ML template as a part of the merge fields. So what we will be able to do is we will be able to just mention it like, for example, case survey invitation, and it will be automatically available here. So with that way we are getting some kind of dynamic with that link to be used anywhere. So how it could be organized, let me show you just a flow. So here is the part related to that. So here, as you could see, we have possibility to get some survey record based on its developer name. So after that we are getting our network name. For example, in our case it's a community name. And later, what we need to do is we need to specify, especially based on our community, based on the survey invitation name, based on the participant ID, and based on all other information, what we need to do is we need to create invitation record. And after that, we are getting survey link, right? And based on this survey invitation link, what we actually do is we perform it on the case. This special update that will actually put this invitation into the case. So once it's done, what we could do is we could perform any kind of ML sending automation logic that will work based on what we have. Okay, I just refresh it, and as you could see, we already could see answers on those questions right here, so they are available. So also what we could do in terms of this is just an object, and here we have for the survey, as you could see, not just survey versions, but we also have survey invitation. So what survey invitation it is, it's just a record that allowing us to contain necessary invitation link and see status of the response. So if it was just completed or if it was just started. And if you would like to just open questions or to be able to understand what person already responded to it, when we will go to the details, we will be able to see. So for example, that person, based on this invitation, completed it with the following language. And let's see what kind of questions there was. So for example, you could see here's a list of questions where we, for example, responded and what kind of feedback we just put it here. So at this moment, just one more item that I would like to show to you. It's maybe possibility how we could actually follow up on cases that, for example, have low score. It's one of the options is possibility to set up macro. And as a part of the macro, if you, for example, have some kind of field on the case that will telling you that this particular case is require follow-up, so this specific, let's say, macro, what it could do, it could automate logic that, for example, will first of all send necessary follow-up email. After that, will check necessary checkbox on the case that, for example, okay, for this case, follow-up was done. So it's how, for example, I organize it in my case. So I just send an email, set follow-up after field to done to true, and just it. So it's enough for me for this particular case. And one more options, if you will want to use survey, let's say standard rules. Let me just jump to setup and show you what else we have. Not just possibility to generate invitation links through the flow or do it directly from the flow builder, but we from the survey builder, we have here a survey invitation rule right in the sidebar. So how it works? When we go to the new rule, setting some test rule. For example, we would like to fire it every time when the record is created. We would like to fire it on the case object based on the field, let's say status equal to new. What kind of survey we would like to use, and please note that here we will be able to see only list of active surveys that have email template selected for distribution in the default setting. It's what I showed to you earlier. So we're selecting it here, we selecting to whom this specific email should go. So for example, in our case, to the contact. For example, contact owner we could select, or maybe it will be better to just send it to, let's say, case contact. What it's required from us, I think that let's put something. Okay, so here we could preview survey, how it will look like. So it's the same what we just used, and we could set this rule trigger, and we should not forget it. I could see that it should be activated, right? Let's activate it. Okay, everything is done. Let me just go and try to create some case. Cases, okay, new. Status new, as we already said before. Let me just select some test data. Okay, case origin. Okay, so what we just got, let's see. Okay, so we automatically get email template with our survey invitation. So if we will go there, we could see our invitation. It's automatically sent on the record creation as we were able to set up. Let's see if it will be show it up in our statistic. As you could see, it's already here. We have our very nice, and as I told you, those not text questions will be updated a little bit later. So at this moment, it's pretty much all that we have around surveys in Salesforce. So possibility to create it, brand it, set up all necessary rules for the different kind of pages logic, how it should show up, possibility to specify rules, how it should be run. Should it be, for example, via some our custom automation and email templates, or should it be just based on the survey invitation rules? So thank you for the attention. For any questions, please put it in the comment under that video.